The United States President Donald Trump will host Vladimir Zelensky on the Monday for their first meeting since the pair's heated exchange in the White House earlier this year. Also, this time around, the Ukrainian president is bringing the European allies as well. The NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte and the United Kingdom Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer are also among the leaders who will join the Zelensky in Washington for the talks on how to end the war with Russia. It follows the Donald Trump summit with the Russian leader Vladimir Putin in Alaska that resulted in the United States president dropping a demand for a ceasefire and calling instead for a permanent peace deal. A United States envoy said on the Sunday that Putin had agreed to a possible NATO-like security pact for Russia and Ukraine. There is big progress on Russia. Stay tuned is what Donald Trump also posted on his Truth Social platform without elaborating. Also heading to Washington for the Monday's meeting are the French President Emmanuel Macron, Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, the German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, and the Finnish President Alexander Stubb, with along the European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. It is also unclear how many of them will go to the White House, for so many heads of state to travel with such little notice across the Atlantic to what is essentially a wartime crisis meeting appears without precedent in the modern era, underscoring the sky-high stakes. Also, the diplomatic sources say that the European officials are concerned that Donald Trump may try to press the Vladimir Zelensky to agreeing to the terms after the Ukrainian leader was excluded from the Trump-Putin meeting on the United States soil last Friday. But the United States Secretary of State, that is Marco Rubio, told the Millennium that any suggestion Zelensky might be bullied by the Donald Trump into accepting a peace deal was a stupid media narrative. NATO leaders also appear eager to avoid a repeat of the Zelensky's February trip to the Oval Office that ended abruptly after an argument with Donald Trump and the United States Vice President J.D. Vance. The altercation, which saw the Donald Trump accuse Zelensky of gambling with the World War III, left Washington and Kyiv ties in tatters. But European leaders have been working diligently behind the scenes since then to mend the relationship. The Ukrainian leader also has been coached to talk in terms of the deal-making language that resonates with Trump. In April, the Ukraine signed a minerals agreement that gives the United States a financial stake in the country, and Donald Trump and Zelensky spoke privately at the Vatican before the Pope Francis' funeral. Ukraine made clear it was willing to pay for the United States weapons. By July, the two leaders had a phone call that the Ukrainian president described as the best conversation we have made. Meanwhile, Donald Trump have also begun to express the exasperation with Russia's unrelenting support and also onslaught in the Ukraine. He called Putin absolutely crazy, drastically shortened his deadline, and also for the peace deal he threatened the economic sanctions on the Moscow. As these deliberations grind on, the Russian forces continue to advance on the battlefield. They now occupy almost one-fifth of the Ukraine since the Moscow launched its full-scale invasion in the February 2022.